My name is Perttu Salli and I come from Solita. And all what I'm going to talk today is battle tested. I have been involved more than in 100 different data projects. So I really think that I know what I'm talking about. And I come from Solita. Solita is a Nordic leader in this data area. And we have more than 1,500 employees, at least soon. And this topic, data management principles. So why I chose the topic? Maybe the reason is that they say that we Finns are the happiest nation in the world, and the winter is coming. So maybe one of the reasons is that we are well prepared. We have 3-layer windows, so we are warm and nice inside. And many companies have AI initiatives, like you are having as well. You might have customer service chatbots, but is AI and that kind of easiness of use and that kind of feedback loops, are they present in different customer touchpoints and end user services? And I would say that they are not. And my claim is that the main reason is lack of proper data management. And I have a nice illustration for you. I hope you like it. It is here, and it is saying that are you feeding an octopus that no one can control anymore? And now I must explain a little. In this example I have from one customer case. So they were developing digital applications and there was that kind of eager team doing it with agile development and so forth. And they said that we can do our part very easily, but it is very uneasy to get data from finance and other legacy. And the project, which was assumed to take 2 to 3 months, was taking 1.5 years. And that shouldn't be so. So that customers would come to us and say that they need complex data governance and a lot of data stewards, and they are just used to its slow development and many dependencies. That is just how it is. Should it be so? I'm saying that no, it shouldn't. That instead of that polluted monster data, you should have proper data management. And I have 3 principles here I'd like to tell you about. The first one is that you should take the roles and responsibilities clear and from data perspective. And that's maybe something that the roles and responsibilities are clear, but not from data perspective. And then the next one is to get mutual understanding of the challenges between IT and business. And sometimes for me it seems that they are talking, these different parties, like different language. That the other one is only explaining the things from their perspective and the other one is from their perspective. And when I saw my architectural pictures, the business is saying that nice that you showed that, but can we go further? So get them a common understanding would be one of the keys. And then the third one would be to put the data in the center of both company strategy and enterprise architecture. And there I am meaning that I have seen many fancy presentations where the data and data services and AI are in the middle, but then it is not on concrete level enough. And that's what I'm going to talk in that point. First about those data roles. So everybody is having a couple of data scientists or data science teams and so forth. And they are good at exploring data, but it is a little bit different. They are not maybe involved in the core application development and core process development. And should these data-related roles and responsibilities govern all the system development in order to reap end-to-end benefits? And I am saying that yes, they should. And if we illustrate it a little, so this is now an example. Here I have taken the new services development, what usually happens in every company, the finance sector or the finance unit and the IT function that everybody has. And then this customer domain, customer data is here as an example. There are other domains like operations, sales and marketing and so forth. And now when we add here the data roles, so these marketing and sales managers, should they be interested on data development company-wide? Should they have their own data engineers and data scientists? Maybe they have. If they don't, they should. And this CFO should they have data owner or act themselves as a data owner for the data that they are administering in their services. And maybe there some data scientists would be needed as well. And what usually happens in this kind of picture is that the new services, they talk directly to each of these and multiple other domains and try to get the data, and instead of fancy user experience and AI assisted services, they are just stuck with pulling the data from different sources. And then when they are ready, it is just for one purpose. For the next purpose, it has to be recreated again. And my conclusion here is that these different domains, now there's only example, this customer data, but also the other ones, should have common backlog. You can use the wording or the term you want to use, like data mesh or so that they would cooperate together and provide the new services, the data through modern data tools and APIs, which IT function would give to use. And now the new services would be able to deliver the unbelievable user experience because they would have the data available, and that data would be that kind of use case independent, which would mean that when this finance and customer data people have been working together, it would be available for the new use case as well. And I'm really liking this picture. This is something that really should be the focus. The next point is about this mutual or common understanding between the different parties. And usually when business sees these architecture pictures, they go away. So please hold with me now. And here is a concrete tool that you can take home and use there when you are communicating between different parties. And this is a must-win battle because you must keep focus on a happy end customer in all touch points. And usually when you are talking about architecture, the customer is just forgotten, but now we keep the customer in mind. And just quickly go through this. This is not the exact tool yet, so please hold with me. So you all have that new application development. You have the old app where maybe 70% of the customer engagement is happening. Then someone from the management has seen that some software as a service solves some problems, and it might be so. And then you have customer data in many CRM systems. You have ERPs, maybe many of them, and some have some AI functionalities attached to them. Then you have multiple data assets and some cloud data and analytics trials, pilots, or even production. Then on company level, there happens tactical planning, and there are many legacy systems. And now, how to communicate about these issues, what you are having here. First one would be maybe to be honest. If you think about tactical planning, where all the operations are planned, maybe it's just one big Excel sheet, which doesn't have anything to do with AI or that kind of real-time data. And maybe that cloud data and analytics is using Excel as a source for some data because they are not getting it anywhere. And in some cases, legacy development has been so slow that you are sending PowerPoint presentations to different offices with instructions, and some data is created there and updated there, and it goes nowhere. So there are manual steps, and if you think about that customer, so it's in too many systems. In one example I had, it was possible to make agreement with the customer in 100 systems, little over 100 systems. And what happened there was that the view of customer was a little bit different in all the systems. And how to get that kind of customer 360, it was almost impossible. But the tool I'm introducing here is that could you use traffic lights to highlight the issues? And you have seen traffic lights in different presentations, but when you join it together with the architecture, it really creates some feelings. Because the red color would mean the data is not available for others or the system needs immediate replacement. Yellow would mean the data is split into several systems. or the business wants to steer the development of the system in a direction which it cannot handle. And here I'm meaning, for example, SaaS solutions. They are very good in what they should be doing or are planned to do, but if you try to use them for something different, the problems start. And the green would be that the data is available for consumption in real time and the platform is scalable and secure. And now we see the picture again. Here it goes. And maybe the old application development has been totally abandoned. And as we remember, maybe 70% of the traffic was still going through that. And here the SaaS application is with yellow, and only those integrations that cause trouble are marked here. So there would be a customer, happy customer like in this case, and they would really like to buy something right now, but we get data about those intentions just with 1 day delay or with nightly batch. And with that tactical planning, maybe it is just someone taking SQL queries which have nothing to do with AI and can have errors, and maybe they not take all the different details into picture. There are so many manual steps, and those AI-related functionalities, maybe they are tied to an old ERP system, which should be really renewed, the processes and all stuff. So AI doesn't solve all the problems just putting it somewhere. And this customer is in many systems, and cloud data and analytics, which would be scalable and secure platform, is not really in the center, is lacking some functionalities there. And now when we think about this, and you would color your system landscape like this, so don't hesitate to contact us. We have different criteria you can use. You can make up your own. And from the data perspective, because the old way to think was that we just buy applications. We have a need and we buy an application. But now the new way to really fix these issues would be to think that how this application contributes to the data asset and the data model here in our company, so that we would have the customer information in one place so that it really would make sense, and we would know the contracts and all that very basic stuff. Instead of dozens and dozens systems, they would be really that way. That would make sense. And this is something you can take home. Please use it as you like. If you don't, so it can be that we end up in this kind of weak data situation. Finance will just deliver their data. It's very structured, but it is quite narrow. Sales and marketing will deliver their data. It's very wide, but it has holes on it, as everybody knows. Online and IoT data create a lot of data, and it's maybe not linked to the finance data. It doesn't have the identifiers how to link and so forth. And digital applications are adding their spice. And what happens with AI and data science initiatives? So they have to work with this kind of weak black data and getting a lot of coding done, a lot of black water in and out, and it doesn't really solve the problem. And the same with other data initiatives like data warehousing and analytics. Placing the data in the center of both company strategy and enterprise architecture is really important. And I've seen many fancy presentations with company strategy where data and data initiatives and AI initiatives are highlighted, but they are not concrete enough. And my way to put it would be that it would affect the enterprise architecture thinking. So it would be that kind of shift of thinking that instead of different applications, we would be talking about how we can contribute for the common data. And after that, AI and your other data initiatives, they have access to all data. They can act real time, like in this example what I was telling, that someone would like to buy something right now and the different systems don't communicate. And then it can scale end to end company-wide. Thinking of this company strategy, so many of you have been on business for a long time, seen where it all started, and then you finally notice that we are getting money in, but we should track the expenses more tightly and so forth. So operational efficiency has been on focus of many companies. And maybe the next step would be that kind of artificial intelligence and machine learning enabled customer focus. And what I'm meaning with it would be that it wouldn't be only shiny surface, but it would be affecting all the core processes and end-to-end the different systems. And please, these people who are preparing these, they should be involved also in preparing the enterprise architecture slides. And they could look little bit like this. And now you know these traffic lights here again. They are not all in green, because what I'm saying is that the data should be in green. That there might be some issues with old application. It's wise to develop the new application with a bigger team or so. There might be some issues with SaaS solution, so that it is not 100% fit for what you are doing, but the data what you are creating there should be available in green for the common data. And this doesn't mean that this should be a physical picture. This can be just a shift of thinking, so that instead of different applications, you think that how this particular application contributes for the common data. And now we have done ERP renewal, and maybe it was easier because this common data asset was taking care of part of the things that ERP used to do in the past. And with these different legacy systems, so the same thing, that the data would be available and there wouldn't be those PowerPoint instructions anymore where data is exchanged with the different offices. And tactical planning is something that should crucially be on green, so that all the AI-related things and the learning and feedback loops would be taken into consideration also there. And maybe there should be only single CRM. I'm having this customer example here throughout the presentation, and it would really make sense that instead of multiple or dozens different registries, there would be a single registry having customer engagement and customer itself. And then here in the middle, we are having that cloud data and AI platform, and it would be scalable and reliable. And then it would be possible when AI has access to all possible data. Of course, there has to be all those rules and laws and so forth taken care of. But when all that has been taken care of, then it's technically possible this way. And then it's easy to have container having some machine learning scripts, having feedback from the new application, that how customer reacted to this initiative and learning from it. And most importantly, to having master data management here. And this used to be difficult in the past, but we have seen that nowadays it is quite straightforward. So that having that customer data, having these contracts, having different products, having own employees, having subcontractors, offices, whatever assets you can think. And that master data is then shared between these different applications. It can be created in some of these, but then it's made as a common data asset, which is given into use for different applications. And this paradigm shift from strict application focus to this let's do data together focus on enterprise architecture and in company strategy is really a game changer. And we are here to help you. And it used to be so that business had these business development initiatives like new applications and so, and there were so many IT layers and how to pull the data from the legacy systems, as I had the example of 1.5 years waiting for the data and waiting for the priority. And also the procurement is the third party here. And because of history, many vendors have had the responsibilities, so that now when you have the data initiative, so it is quite a bunch of people and vendors which have to be involved in this picture. So get all that fixed so that we would have the data asset logically there in the center, be able to deliver the data use cases, and the right data tools would be in use. And after that, when you are having that digital customer initiative or that AI initiative or any other data initiative, so they could be focused on what they do best and on the winning customer experience. And the data layer would be really serving them with data through APIs. And actually this goes with transactions and operative systems as well, because they shouldn't worry about the digital application development. They should only be able to keep the data available for others. And this data layer would take care of those how to handle exceptions, how to deliver it, how to scale, for an example, peak times and so forth.